Hey, so have a commercial drywall company here in Huntsville. Last year, our revenue was $5.6 million with a net profit of 1.3, which doesn't sound bad. But my question to you is, I'm looking to grow it even more. This is year number 9. It's starting to feel a little stagnant. I have a total of 12 employees plus 30 plus subcontractors. And drawing in talent has been an issue for us. So I guess, should I look for a recruiter, some sort of agency outside of us to bring these people in, or just let it happen organically?
No and no.
No?
No, I wouldn't let it happen organically, and you're not big enough to bring in a recruiter, and outside recruiters I've not had very much luck with. There are a few that you can use here and there, but in the construction world, it's particularly hard. What we did at that stage was that we became internally very proactive. And so out of your 12 team, that's office people or what? Or supervisors or job?
Yeah, so there's 5, 6 in the office. The rest are foremen.
Okay, so 6 foremen, 6 office. Okay, so you got an office manager then.
Yes.
So what is it you're needing? You're needing more foremen and more subs?
Well, I feel like I would need more people internally to handle the load that we could possibly pick up.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that until I know for sure I can handle it internally. I don't want to outgrow ourselves.
I agree. So what areas would you need to, what positions would you need to fill to do the growth you're talking about?
Estimators and project managers.
Okay. All right, good.
Yep.
Good. And you have estimators on staff now?
I do.
And you have project managers on staff now?
Yes.
Okay. All right. We still to this day pay a bounty to our team. And we say we need estimators and we need project managers. And if we hire one and they stay with us 90 days, meaning they work it out and they come through the onboarding process, and you referred them here, they came here because you brought them here, we will pay you $500. And for a while, and we may still do it, I have to go back and look, but for a while we were so desperate for programmers at our place, people writing code on the internet and so forth, building digital products, that we were paying $2,000 bounties for a tech person hire.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's cheaper than paying a recruiter, number one. Number two, the speech to our team sounds like this in staff meeting. Hey, we've got these types of positions to fill. If you know someone that is a thoroughbred that you would hire if you owned the company, only bring the best, because you're going to end up working beside them and you don't want a doofus.
Right.
And everybody has friends that are doofuses and crazies, and you know who your doofus and crazy friends are. Keep them out of here.
Right.
In the construction world, the good news about it is it's a grapevine. Everybody knows. And your estimator knows guys at other places that are doing this. And he knows project managers. Your project managers knows guys. I'd talk to your subs and ask them who some good supervisors are out there, who some good project managers are, who some good estimators are. And if they send you one, I'd pay them a bounty.
Right. Well, the problem we have here is there is a large company here that is paying 40+% more than the rest of us are to these positions. And, it's hard to entice someone that, that you can't compete with the company they're working for. And it's from estimators to field superintendents.
That's a different issue.
Yeah.
I mean, if the only labor you have available for these slots, you're getting outbid by 40%, that's different than how do I recruit? A recruiter can't solve that problem.
Well, right. so my thought was reaching outside of this area, maybe even to Nashville, getting someone to move in, but these days, where do you broadcast that from?
LinkedIn.
Okay. Yeah.
ZipRecruiter, those kinds of things. You can drop it in there. You need to be real careful to put the filters on it so you don't get overwhelmed with a bunch of junk resumes.
I have tried that before.
And you just get an inbox full of trash.
Yes.
But yeah,
been there, done that.
So you got to put the filters on it and make it harder to get to, and so forth. And to keep the keep the crazies away, and everybody just. But
and I say
how are those guys making a profit?
They are owned by a larger firm that just want their revenue to borrow on credit lines. It's not even about that company. They just want to suck that money out of that company to invest in something else.
Well, there's not any money in that company if they're paying it all out in payroll.
That's kind of the problem with them. I guess it's just kind of moving money around to.
Now, that's not sustainable. Nobody's going to leave a division that's not profitable because they're overpaying for labor.
Well, when you're $300+ million a year,
you still don't do that. You don't get to be $300 million a year by being stupid,
right?
And running an entire area of your company into the dirt because you're overpaying payroll, overpaying the market by 40% is not logical. So,
well, they moved into the area, said for 2 years they're going to build relationships and take losses on jobs if they have to, just to build those relationships. And then they sucked in all of these key components that we need and have just paid them ungodly money.
Yeah, I think you just had to outlast that. That's not your career problem. I mean, you've still got to hire the right people at the right price.
Yes.
And that's just noise over there to the side.
Yep.
That can't be your motivator. It can't be what's driving your decision making, because what they're doing is not sustainable. In 5 years, they'll be gone, or they will have adjusted their sales to the prevailing
There's
winds.
some of that going on.
Yeah.
One
of the two, and like we had a local employer here that came in, moved to corporate office here, and they were. Doing the same thing. They were going around to all the other people like us, and they were offering more money and stealing people. They were poaching all over the place. And we kept telling our folks, guys, this is not going to last, and grass is not always greener over the septic tank. Hello. And so, and I mean, we had 6 or 7 people out of our 1,100 go over there, and they're all gone now. They didn't stay. I think there's one over there still.
Well, I have 2 of their players.
Yeah.
Now,
so because it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant to work there,
right? No, it is. It wasn't.
Yeah.
So
anyway, so that's white noise to the side. We couldn't let the local poacher just determine what we pay. The marketplace determines what we pay, what the value of that position is, and so just because somebody wanted to overpay, ridiculously just to fill a seat over there, that's a temporary play. It doesn't play out. It doesn't work. It's not sustainable. So you have to. So anyway, that's side noise. Over here, I'm going to run an internal referral program. I'm going to run a sub-referral program. And for that matter, if you know anybody in adjoining cities that you might talk to and just say, hey, if you know an estimator in Nashville, you mentioned Nashville, okay? If you know an estimator there, say, you might not be interested in moving down here, but anybody you send me, I'll give you $1,000.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. Okay. And that's you just need to get your grapevine moving and grease it a little bit with some money. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's perfectly ethical and not that, if somebody sends you 6 good people, send them on a cruise with their wife, for God's sakes.
That's not a bad idea.
That kind of stuff. I mean, because the word will get out then that Ken wants good people, and he has a really good way of saying thank you.